Alright, following on from part 8, we're now at the Eternal Narthex. Now, we've been here before, but we didn't really see a lot when we were here before. We did see this guy and we ran around him. We're going to do exactly the same thing we did when we came here, and that's run around him to the left to the teleporter, only this time I'm going to kill him. I didn't kill him last time, but it's a good idea to kill elites if you want to get a little bit of tar, and elites drop the most tar, so it's not a lot. I mean 172, but it's more than you get from a standard enemy. But I just wanted to kill him also to build up a bit of resolve so I can keep hitting his body. I've run out of stamina. I should really harden to get my stamina back there, but his body's already gone, so whatever. So anyway, you go through here and you run around to the left and use this teleporter. There are a bunch of teleporters around this place and they all lead to different areas. Feel free to explore and the whole area. It's a big area. There's lots of places to visit and lots of items to pick up. But we're not going to do that in this walkthrough. We're going to make the fastest direct line to getting through this area. And to do that, we have to open up a big, gigantic rock wall that leads to the next area. You can see it up there. We've basically got to go up there past those 3 flames. But to do that, first we need to get past this guy, which we will just run around him. No point killing another one. And use this teleporter. Now in this area there are 3 flames that we basically have to light. When we do that, we can step on a switch that opens up the door we need to get through. We'll see all that happen as we go, but there is another thing we wanted to get, which is the 3rd Solemn Offering. So we'll get that second, because the first thing we can do is light the first flame, which is just near the Solemn Offering. So follow the direction where I've been going and come up here. You can see the flame over there. That's that gold thing. That's where we're heading. To get to it, we'll have to drop off where we are. And all we have to do is harden to make sure we don't take any fall damage. I actually don't think we will take fall damage here anyway, but just in case. So come up to the corner here. What you want to do is roll off the edge to get a little bit of to make sure you're not going to fall too wrong, and then harden just before you hit. So roll and harden. Alright, so we'll go up and we'll light this flame. The Solemn Offering is below it, but we need to light the flame first. Now this is a little tricky area. It's filled with heaps of trash mobs and an elite. Try not to run out. Try to just stand here and kill these 2 trash enemies. You can see the elite there. Now, if you don't get too close to that elite on the left, he's not going to do anything. He'll just stay there, so don't worry about him too much. The main thing you got to deal with is these other 4 trash enemies. So drag him out, then you can run and kill this guy, which will bring, did I say 4? I think it's 5 in fact. Yeah, 5. So there's a little bit, but they die because we've upgraded our hallowed sword. They die pretty much in 1 hit, so you don't really have to panic too much about them. 1 jumping hit, that is. So if I do 1 jumping hit on this guy, it'll kill him. There you go. Now you can kill the elite if you want. I'm going to. He probably won't bother us, but he might prove me wrong and stab me in the back if if I turn my back on him and light that flame. So I'm just going to kill him with a mechanical spike. Alright, so that's the area cleared. We picked up some stuff. And now we can light the first of the 3 flames that will help us unlock the door. We'll get to from here. It's a little tricky. You have to be careful how you do it. We have to go down there and through little small openings in the rocks. If you drop straight down here, that fella won't chase you. Generally, I haven't seen him chase anyone here before. So if you drop down there, turn around and go through here. Now it's a little hard. You can go the wrong way. This is the wrong way, so don't go through there. What you want to do is, I'll just go back. From where he is, you want to go to the leftmost crack in these things, whatever you want to call them, and just go through here slowly. There's no enemies here if you don't go too far, and you'll find this hidden teleporter. Take this hidden teleporter and it'll take you to a little area only accessible via teleporter. And at the end of this area, there's no enemies here, so don't worry about that. At the end of here there's a chest, and in this chest is the 3rd and final Solemn Offering for upgrading our parry. Alright, so now we can continue and we can go and get the remaining 2 flames to open the door to the next area. Like I said, there's a lot here you can explore and a lot of items you can pick up. There's tar and glimpses to be had and a bunch of other stuff. But we're just going to go the direct path once again. So just follow me where I'm going here. You just want to come out to the main area. Now there are some phantoms flying around here. You can pretty much ignore them, but if one spots you, he can come up underneath you and give you a swipe. If he does, he won't do much damage so long as you keep running. If you stand still, he can hit you, or a phantom can hit you with an area of effect attack. There's also some major elites along here. Kill them if you want, or run through these cracks in the walls and they won't bother you. The first of the flames is down here, very easy to get to. Just be aware though, that when you get here, there are going to be phantoms that surround you and attack you. So if you interact with this flame, phantoms will appear around you. There we go, there's the first one. And that's not the last one. So I hadn't even interacted with it yet and he appeared. So he must appear just when you arrive in the area. So these guys will also appear. As long as you harden and dodge, you should be fine with them. They don't take much to kill. Alright, so they're done. That's 2 flames done. We only have 1 more to go. It's on the other side here, and actually you've already seen this flame. We did run past it when we came here to pick up a quenching acid. It's the area that is surrounded by some archers that we also killed when we came here last, only this time we're going to go in and do the flame. We could have actually done it last time when we were here, but back then we weren't quite as powerful as we are now. Not that that doesn't mean we couldn't have done it, but it's only an extra few seconds of time to do it now. I prefer doing anything that's more difficult once we're leveled up. Okay, so what you want to do is we're going to have to deal with this hammer guy. And the archer over there will often see you. If she sees you, try and fight the hammer guy from behind this pole so she can't shoot you from a distance. You could go and take her out first before the hammer guy if you want, but if she doesn't see you like she didn't then you don't have to worry about it. Now if I go out, she's almost certainly going to see me. I think she spotted me now. Yep. So I'll just show you. I'll harden up actually to stop her from hitting me. You could have stood behind the pole. I'm just going to kill her because she'll probably be shooting at me while we're lighting that flame. Okay, so that's a perfumed censer. And what you use that for is to upgrade the hammer and chisel. And it gives the hammer and chisel a way of doing area of effect attacks. It basically makes you spin around. So if you're surrounded by enemies, you can spin around using the hammer and chisel and kill them all. And it also makes you immune to damage while you're using it, which is quite powerful. So I really like using the hammer and chisel with the perfumed censer on a shell that has a lot of resolve, like Solomon, because then you can just spam your weapon abilities and take care of enemies that are all around you. And you'll get the hammer and chisel by interacting with the book at the start of the Eternal Narthex and fighting Haddon, who drops it. Okay, so this is the switch here, this gold plate here. That's the switch to open up this big door that's coming down now. You can't open up that door without having lit all 3 of those flame things. And here, all we've got to do is run through. Sesta Janessa is at the end of this dim gate run. You don't have to kill all the enemies, and I'm not going to. I'm just going to take the right path, run past this elite up here. Just bear in mind there's an archer and she might shoot you. A bit random whether she will or won't, but if you keep running, you'll be okay. There's a hammer dude on either side here, so just run around those. And Sesta Janessa is over here. Alright, once we've saved our spawn point with her, it's time to go to what is arguably maybe the hardest area in the game, and it can be a bit confusing, but we're going to run a direct path so it won't be too confusing for us. Before we do that though, I'll just go over to this side. This side over here it's a shortcut point. You can't use it yet. It will take you up halfway through the area we're about to go through by interacting with this thing here, but only once there's a flame on top of it, and that is only there once we activate this from above, which it's basically a lift, and you have to activate it from above. But once activated from above, if you die, you can call it from here. If you die and respawn down at Sesta Janessa, it'll enable you to get back up and skip a lot of what we're about to go through. The next bit is quite long and can be difficult if you don't know where you're going. It's a bit easier when you run a direct path, but it's quite long, and there's a lot of enemies to deal with, many of which we'll run past, some of which we can't. Before we do go up there though, there's just one other thing somewhere around here. Yeah, there we go. There's a mortal token here. Not that I've been using mortal tokens in this run very much, but there it is. Alright, so there's a couple of elites here on the right. We want to go to the right, and feel free to explore the area. There's lore and other things around here too, but I might try and grab that item. So there's two elites just there, but there's time to grab this item here, which is a scripture of Defiance. Just go past these two elites and don't lock on to enemies. The best thing is not to lock on here, because if you kill an enemy while locked on, there's so many around that the camera will swing you around, and you're on a very thin ledge. You don't want your camera locked on if you can avoid it while on this ledge. Lock on if you have to, don't if you don't have to. We don't have to here, so I'm just going to kill her there. Okay, so moving through this, you'll hear some noises of enemies kind of attacking through walls. Sounds scary, but they can't hurt you. Now we're coming up to a door. There's a red saber user here. Kill her before you go in, and you should be able to get the archer before she shoots you, because she won't look around. Just don't go too far, just go in enough to kill that red enemy. You'll come to this area here, which there's quite a bit you can do here. Kill this phantom first. Always kill the phantoms as soon as you see them. You can explore off to the right here. You can kill those enemies on the left there and get some stuff. There's stuff down there you can get. If you interact with that flame down there, you'll spawn a bunch of phantoms, so just be aware of that. But I'm going to ignore all of that because we're going along the most direct path to the boss here. Damn phantom disappeared on me. Alright, and you come around here and you go through this right door. Now, the best idea here is to run forward and not lock on, because the camera will spin you around like it did then. Lock on at the last minute to her, and then turn around and kill her. Now, the best way to kill these guys is you do a jumping attack, you harden, and then you follow up your attacks. And the reason you harden immediately after the jumping attack is those saber users can sometimes just go ballistic on you the moment you hit them. Be careful here, because you can fall off to your doom. And the enemies walk to the edge because they know you can fall off to your doom. That was close. But we're through that, it's fine. Now that archer up top will shoot you, so be prepared to harden. When she shoots you might be a little random, but if you run up here, you probably have to harden again when she shoots you, and then you should be able to get her. I'm not going to lock on unless I have to. Missed one because and two now because I'm not locked on, but it just keeps you centered in case there's another enemy around that the camera can spin you around on. So keep moving up. Now there's some enemies in the left there, and they're going to see you as you walk past this door. Don't go straight in there, it is harder. Go down here and pick up this item. You'll get some tar, and if you wait here, the enemies that saw you will come through the door together, and you can do a jumping attack and then wail away and kill them both at once. If you don't do it that way, these are two archers, and while you're attacking one, the other one will shoot you. So it's a lot harder to do it any other way than that. I'll also just show you over here, we're not going this way, but if you look down there, if you're going to explore the area, there's a secret teleporter down there. If you drop down and harden to make sure you don't die from the fall, there's other areas here you can explore. But we'll keep moving on up. Well, almost. There's a ledge here that you want to go out on before you go up those stairs. You just crawl carefully out on this ledge and then drop down onto that. And just walk carefully so you don't fall off, and you'll get yourself another golden bell. So now we have a golden bell we can use on the boss, and we have a golden bell we can use on the very next enemy. I don't think you take damage when you fall off there, but I hardened up just in case. I can't remember. Alright, so let's keep going on up. Now there's a few enemies here. I recommend the best way to deal with it is to run up and then turn around and go straight at this enemy here. This is the archer that will hassle you the most, and by killing her you put a stone between you and the other archer, preventing her from shooting you at the same time. Again, ignore the one in red and go for the archer first. Archers are always priority. And then with her, again, a jumping attack, then harden, and then you can take her out. If you fail to harden, there's a good chance that you'll take some damage. Alright, now in this next area there's a bunch of enemies, and we're going to just run past them all. If you want to fight them all, there's a ton of stuff you can find around here, a lot of items you can explore for yourself for that and for some lore, but I'm just going to keep moving on. Now mostly what we'll do from here on is just run past most of the enemies. However, we will need to kill a couple here, otherwise we can get swamped and stuck. So kill this archer. Oh, I think she got me with one. Doesn't matter. Just wait for the red saber women to come up one by one. Do the same thing, jumping attack, harden. She got me too. I'm not going to worry about the hammer guy. Actually, I'll take a mortal token and he can heal us. There we go. Now we're fully healed. Now there's an enemy, there's a couple of enemies here. You can see there's an archer up on that platform up there. What you want to do is try and run all the way through to the bottom of that platform, then recover your stamina here where she can't shoot you, and then run again the rest of the way, and she won't be able to shoot you. You have to make sure you recover your stamina under that platform though, otherwise she'll more than likely get you. There's an enemy here, you'll want to kill her instead of trying to run past her. There's also an item just here. You can kind of steal it, but I'm going to kill this enemy because it's an archer. And then we've got another red saber woman coming at us, so we'll just wait for her here. And you can see if you jump and harden, they just never attack you before you can kill them. Alright, they were pretty much the last enemies we have to really worry about, but I'm going to drop down and grab this item, which means I'll have to worry about these two enemies. But if you didn't want to drop down and grab that item, you could have just kept running on. Oop. I didn't do that very well. I should have hardened and jumped. But that's alright. We're almost there. We're almost where we need to go. Just wait for her. Just lure her to fire again. Once she fires, we're good to go get her. So as you can see, this is quite a long trek to get to the boss, with no save points in between, or at least none that I've found. I don't think there are any. I've done this a couple of times now, and I think the only save point's just before the boss. And we're just about at the boss. There's a hammer guy. Kill him if you want, but given that you've come so far and you're so close to the end, I just see no real reason to take the risk of dying to this guy when you can just run around him. Now that we're at the Shifting Archives, you're going to look for a super giant Cesta Genessa on the left. I think there's some inscription lore in here as well you can find. I don't think there's any other items though, just lore. Explore that in your own time. And there's our giant Cesta Genessa, so make sure you save your respawn point right here.
Once I was in...
Alright, now that we've done that, we can go and fight the boss. This, just a warning, this boss starts the same way as the others, where you drink from a chalice, and that teleports you into the boss fight. Only here it doesn't teleport you into the boss fight, it will actually open up the floor, and you'll fall down into where you'll fight the boss. The fall damage will kill you if you're teal. It will severely damage you. It might even kill you as Harris. I'm not really sure. But what you want to do is, as soon as you fall, look down and harden before you hit the ground, and you'll take no damage. And now the boss will come out. This boss fight is a little bit annoying because when we use the mechanical... take a golden bell. Make sure you take a golden bell before you go in. And now we'll get more resolve gains. So this boss is a little bit annoying. He has a little dude attached to his chest, his little brother, who, if you down the boss with a mechanical spike, the little dude will immediately start firing his crossbow, giving you damage even if you're close to the boss and wailing away. So what you want to do when you use the mechanical spike to take this boss down is you want to immediately roll forward. Rolling will stop it from happening. So he jumps forward at the start, you can get a few hits on after a dodge, hit him with a mechanical spike, and now the dude starts shooting, and if you roll forward, you'll usually end up behind him and you'll stop shooting and you'll have taken no damage. He's quite annoying, that dude. If you don't do it any other way, you'll definitely take damage. So in this phase, you really want to get him down fast. Once you've got him under half health, he'll do those big leaps, and you can dodge them or you can harden to avoid them. And also a mechanical spike will make you invulnerable from them as well. So as you can see, that went really fast because we're leveled up. I have another fight where I fought this guy in Solomon, I think I was, with a completely unleveled character, and that fight went for a long time. If you want to see how to handle all of this guy's mechanics without doing what we just did then, without a fully leveled up character and without annihilating him fast, I'll put a link in the description to my very first fight against him, which was extremely frustrating with an unleveled character. Okay, in the second phase, he doesn't have the crossbow guy, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. In fact, we don't have to worry about any ranged attacks anymore, apart from he can pretty much this. He'll come running at you and do a big thrust with a spear. But after that, you can just jump in. He is fairly relentless with his attacks though, so you've got to be careful. That kick won't hurt though. If you're struggling with him, just wait for him to do his attack, keep away, and when you see him do the kick, he kind of does a bit of a raw thing. If he's done the kick already, you can run in and get quite a few hits on him before he starts attacking again. So the safest way though is to just keep away from him, chip away at him until you've got enough resolve to attack him with a mechanical spike, rinse and repeat. And he's quite relentless with his attacks, so you've got to be very careful and not try to do too many. You can actually probably just do the Haddon strategy on him as well, where you do a thrust with your heavy, harden, and then dodge away. You do that over and over and over, which is kind of what I'm doing. Even when I'm jumping in, it's kind of the same strategy as the Haddon strategy. So I took a mortal token there to get my health back from being hit while hardened. And all we need to do, thanks to the golden bell, is get a few more hits on and we can mechanical spike him. He might even die before then, we'll see. So always let him finish. Don't do what I did then. Always let him finish his raging attacks when he does all those like really angry multiple attacks. Just let him finish them before attempting to get a hit in. So thanks to the golden bell, heaps of mechanical spikes, and this fight is rendered pretty easy. Once again, it's not so easy if you don't have a fully leveled character like we do, and I'll put a link to a fight where I didn't, and you can watch that to see all the mechanics. But hopefully you won't have any trouble with this guy if you just finish off the first phase as fast as you can. Every time you down him, dodge through to prevent the crossbow from hitting you, and keep away from him in the second phase, just taking your time to chip away and build up your resolve. And now we grab the gland that he was guarding, and once again fog descends on the map. Like every other time, we have to make our way back to Fulgrim Tower, but this is actually the last time, because once we get back there we'll be at the final boss. However, we won't do it in this video. We're already at the 24-minute mark. It's about a 25-minute video, and that's too long. We'll call it quits there, and we'll make our way back to Fulgrim in the next video and beat the final boss as well. Don't forget, I almost did then, don't forget to check in with Sesta Genessa here just to get any health back that you lost during the fight. Want to make sure that you don't run out without all your shells, all your chances of being knocked out of your shell and all your health. Alright, well, I'm Fuzzy Barbarian. Thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you in the next part where we finish up this complete walkthrough. See you then.